Welcome, friends. It's nighttime here, and I'm finally ready to start sharing a complicated story. It's about the tangled web I found down a rabbit hole in the seemingly quiet town of Logan, Utah.
Reports of ritualistic sexual abuse and human trafficking involving children in at least these three areas: Utah County, San Pete County, and Juab County.
True. She talked about things like watching murders of children, her mom hanging from the rafters of a visualization through conditioning, things that were just so graphic that I'm like, this can't be real. So I asked her and she said yes, and it's really hard to believe some of the things she said. You don't want to believe it. It's unimaginable.
Let me ask you about one part.
This small town of Logan, Utah, was founded in 1859 by Mormon settlers who braved a long and treacherous journey on the commandment of Brigham Young himself to survey the site of a fort by the banks of the Logan River. This is a town infused with the souls of early Mormon religious figures. Logan remained home to the Brigham Young College until 1926, when what was left of the college was donated to the new University of Utah campus in town. Our story starts many years later, after countless students, faculty, and families had come and gone from Logan, leaving behind small pieces of their own religious baggage, blood, sweat, and tears to stain the grounds of the University of Utah. Out of this mixing pot, in 1928, a small alternative school for children was formed on the campus of the university. Originally called the Whittier School, but eventually renamed Edith Bowen School. The Edith Bowen School went on to act as a charter or alternative option to families in the area who were interested in getting their children a whole wellness education. During the 1970s and 80s, the small elementary school gained a reputation for catering to families who were looking for their children to connect with nature, to explore science, and to go down an alternative route in their education. And this, my friends, is where we come to the next intersection in our web. The cultural phenomenon that took place in the late 80s and 90s became known as satanic panic. In the 1980s, the United States found itself in the grips of a bizarre moral panic. It was all about an apparently growing subculture of people who allegedly worshipped the very symbol of evil.
And intense scrutiny on the activities of satanic cults.
Stories of devil worship and satanic cults corrupting young minds.
Unbelievable crime at the hands of satanic cults.
Cults bent on tormenting and corrupting the young. Heavy metal music had hidden satanic messages.
Possibly satanic messages on some rock music recordings.
And games like Dungeons and Dragons were luring kids to devil worship.
Allegations of physical and sexual abuse of children at a babysitting service.
The dark world of ritualistic child abuse.
There's a widely held opinion that what happened at the daycare was the devil's handiwork.
There were media reports that Satanists and occultists were rife across the country, performing terrifying rituals and committing sacrifices. There were fears about evil messages hidden in rock music, poisoning young people's minds. But the most potent claims of all were those that Satanists were operating daycare centers where they would commit ritualistic, inappropriate behavior against children. And this, my friends, is only the first path our story takes us down. Join me next time as we discuss the McmartenPreschool case and how it intersects with the tragedies later to erupt in Logan, Utah.
More developing news tonight. Multiple local and federal law enforcement agencies are investigating ritualistic sexual abuse, also human trafficking of children all over Utah. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam Herbets has been following the story and takes a closer look.
Well, the Utah County Sheriff's Office opened this case in April 2021, but according to our confidential sources, they are not starting from scratch. Here's what the department is willing to share so far. Reports of ritualistic sexual abuse and human trafficking involving children in at least these three areas: Utah County, San Pete County, and Juab County between the years of 1990 and 2010. The Sheriff's Office has not released any other specifics. However, we have learned some of the subjects of this investigation are high-profile individuals.
We're just being as careful as we can before we toss names out. Any given individual, it's the way it is. I mean, the chips fall where they are and we follow them.
One of them was a therapist who was previously charged with similar crimes against young female family members, but not convicted. For the past few months, I have also been reviewing police reports and body camera video related to that case. Watch and listen how one of the victims describes his interaction with the therapist, who he met through a referral from the church.
Hypnosis was a big part of it. He told me that from the very beginning, that was his main technique. Dr. would say, "Do you want to be healed of your homosexuality or not?" And the answer was yes.
Do you think this time it will be different?
I do think it will be different. I think in part because I have some information that can connect some dots.
That man says he hopes sharing his story will empower more victims to come forward. As part of our investigation, we continue to review records related to potential targets of this investigation. We will bring you updates as we confirm more with law enforcement.
Criminal charges, we believe it'll get to that point, but we just haven't gotten there yet. The sooner, the better. We don't want to let anything sit longer than is necessary.
The message at this point for any victims or anyone with information is to please call the Utah County Sheriff's Office.